Sean Hannity delivered a segment that I don't think did what he thinks it was supposed to do. And I'll show that for you in just a second. But the context for this is that yesterday we talked about on the bonus show, you can get access to that by clicking the join button below, this post that Trump sent out saying that he's in on the debate and his campaign and Kamala Harris's campaign have agreed on the specifics of the September 10th ABC News debate, which is very good news. Trump acted for a second there like he was backing out, but now he says he's in. They've agreed on the rules, the specifications, or whatever. And so then Hannity does what Hannity does, which is pro-Trump propaganda. And his job leading up to this debate is to convince viewers that if it doesn't go well for Trump, it's because ABC News is biased, because they're a fake news outlet and they hate Trump. And so then Hannity plays a clip. Why he would do this, as humiliating as it is for Trump, I don't know. That is from one of the single most disastrous moments of Trump's campaign thus far, that National Association of Black Journalists convention. And he's trying to show it as proof that ABC, because one of the journalists is an ABC reporter, that they're so unfair. But all he does is remind people, again, of a politically disastrous moment in Trump's campaign.
Take a look at this. Ask yourself, does this sound like journalism or a talk show host?
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question.
Trump wins the crowd over. Anyway.
Is that what you thought happened, Hannity? Very interesting. Anyway, as he said, yeah, move on from that, Sean. And before playing more clips, why would Hannity do that? Just so you know, Rachel Scott, the reporter there, is just doing what any rational reporter would do, which is to say, our invitation to you was protested from members of this organization saying, this is not the right guy to come speak given these things. And now I'm going to read you the things you've done and said, not speculation, things you've actually on the record done and said. And these are a few of these examples as to why people are uncomfortable with you being here. You can now respond to win us over. But Hannity says that's so unfair because Hannity agrees with Trump that the way you conduct a quote-unquote fair interview with him is to ask questions like so many of these MAGA influencers and MAGA interviewers, I should say, do, which is, how do you do it? You're so targeted. You're so wronged. How do you do it? No, that's not what an interview is supposed to be in this context. So is Hannity really wanting us to remember this?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated me.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm fine with it because she was very rude, sir. Very rude. That wasn't a question. She didn't ask me a question. She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeated your statement, sir, actually.
You said you would. You would
Oh,
make that
absolutely.
decision
If I thought...
So, I guess if Hannity really wants us to remember, we can remember this.
Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
This led to a series of Trump meltdowns where he's posting Kamala Harris's birth certificate, trying to prove she's not black, and failing miserably to do so, and setting up a political contrast that has been more destructive to Trump's campaign, where he is on one side saying she's not black, and Kamala Harris is on the other side laying out a fact-based and compelling case against Trump that is so destructive to Trump's campaign. We're seeing how it's impacting the polls and the momentum behind either candidate. And it's a very weird way to advocate for Trump on the on behalf of, or on the part of Sean Hannity, to remind us of that. Because it's honestly the MAGA argument about quote-unquote fake news in a nutshell, isn't it? To say, it's so unfair that Trump has to do a debate on ABC News because ABC dares to... And then he plays the example of the gall, that the disrespect, according to them, that was shown. But in reality, it's just doing journalism. Yes, you ask often adversarial, tough questions to powerful people. That's what the media is supposed to do. As long as you're delivering those questions based on fact, based on reality, then even if it feels sort of oppositional, that's the job, challenging powerful people. But to Trump, that's fake news, because all that term means, and all good journalism, quote unquote, in a lot of MAGA folks' minds means, is loyalty to Trump. But that's not what the media is supposed to do. It's not supposed to be loyal to one party or the other, but instead challenge both. And I know, of course, you'll have people who say, oh, well, Democrats get only softballs with liberal mainstream media. It's just not true. It's not. I've cited examples before. We've covered examples before. When Biden sits down for interviews, no doubt tomorrow when Kamala Harris and Tim Walz sit down for their first joint interview on CNN, it's going to be tough. There are going to be tough questions about some of the most complex issues that we're facing. I bet Kamala Harris is going to be asked about subjects where it seems like her position has shifted a little bit over the years. She's being accused of moderating. I'm sure she'll be confronted with rhetoric from the Trump-Vance campaign that is really adversarial, and then given a chance to respond. You know what she's not going to do? That's so nasty, Dana. You're so unfair. Fake news. Because she understands the importance of what I'm talking about. Being loyal to the truth, being loyal to even just the concept of holding powerful people accountable, as opposed to being loyal to a party or a person. Speaking of the Fox News coverage, so that backfired. That didn't go the way Andy was hoping. This show's community is rapidly growing, and I'm so grateful for that every day. If you want to make sure that you're part of that, check to make sure you clicked the subscribe button. Easy, free, simple. It makes all the difference. I appreciate it. Back to the video. You also have one Jesse Waters faceplant after another. We just talked about in a different segment this moment.
This is where the president has his most impact. You have a lot of room to maneuver there as commander-in-chief. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she believes. She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now,
Jesse
Whoa, Jesse, I don't like that.
figuratively,
Take
again,
it back.
have their way with her, control her, not in a sexual way. You're now, this is.
Ugh. And more recently, he said this.
When world leaders sit across the poker table from Kamala Harris, they smell fear. They know her tells. Are you going to gamble our country away on a frightened woman too insecure to tell us who she is?
You know, if I worked as a Fox News host, can you imagine? Unless I were Jessica Tarlov, that would be good. That type of Fox host. But if I were having to be a MAGA Fox host, and I wake up one day and that's my life, I don't know how I got there. and Kamala Harris becomes the candidate, I'd think to myself, oh, wait. Those radical, okay, this is MAGA Luke in an alternate universe. I would think those radical left snowflakes are going to try to avoid real criticism by pretending that we're, in the MAGA world, that we're opposed to Kamala Harris for sexist reasons or for racist reasons. But we're not. Okay? We like the civilly liable sexual abuser for different reasons. So, I'm going to go on my show every day, and I'm going to show those crazy lefties that we can hate Kamala Harris without stumbling into every single trope and stereotype of bigotry. That would be a goal. Because otherwise, the argument against you becomes so easy and simple. When Jesse Waters goes and just reads through keywords, key terms, if you were to ask ChatGPT, give me sexist attacks against Kamala Harris, it probably would not allow you to do that. But theoretically, he just uses as many keywords as possible. And again, strangely enough, giving you strategic advice, even if I were just advising you in private, and I was in the MAGA universe, and I was like, yeah, I totally agree, Jesse. Wee-wee! She-dog! But just between you and me, maybe for strategic reasons, to help the Trump campaign, you shouldn't play into every gross stereotype of our side. But no, Jesse's doing it. Every single one. So then the argument does become very, very simple and accurate, which is this is gross stuff coming from some within MAGA. Let me know what you thought of all that in the comments. If you want to get extra content daily and support this show, you can do it by clicking the join button below.